other show. It's not that show or any other show. It's simply this show. The other show. We're so glad that you're here. This is the other show. In case you didn't know, it's the other show. Kenny, Josh, and Spencer now have this show. The other show. It's this show. The other show. Welcome to the other show. Welcome to the other show. Welcome to the other show. It's this show. The other show.
Gentlemen, I ask a millennial moment of silence for an icon that is past.
Oh no. Oh wait, do we start now? When you're gonna tell us when to start?
Blues Clues? Is it Blues Clues?
Don't
Do
say it,
not.
Steve.
Do not, Steve.
Maybe Joe. A Joe I'd be okay with.
Everyone skips over Joe, okay? But listen, Perry, the beloved donkey of Ball Park, died at 30. This iconic donkey brought joy to park visitors because he was the inspiration for Donkey from Shrek.
That's an old donkey.
Yeah, that movie came out in
it's an old
2000.
donker. 30-year-old donkey. He was already in his mid.
I'd like to dedicate
mid-life.
a song to Perry. When I saw his face, yeah, I'm a believer. Josh, you ruined it. It was a really sweet Sarah McLachlan type song.
I
Yeah,
usually do ruin those.
If you want to hum in the background, Kent, I will read the article
Okay.
from Palo Alto Online.
Mm-hmm.
Perry, a beloved miniature donkey who was a fixture of ballpark for nearly 3 decades and famously served as a model for donkey character in Shrek.
What'd you
Should've read
even
ahead.
call? What'd you even call that instrument, Kent?
Josh,
You're
it's a
playing
nose flute.
nose.
It's a nose flute. Let me continue reading. My eulogy. Served as a model for the donkey character in Shrek, was euthanized on Thursday after battling a painful hoof disease, the donkey's handler told the publication. Perry has been at the park since 1997 and has spent much of his life in the company of the minor 49er. Who
The
died
minor
in
49er.
Prior to his passing, he was one of 3 donkeys at Ball Park pasture, along with April and Buddy.
Oh, I gotta go on.
I think you need to blow your nose
Perry
there, Kent.
has been suffering from limitus, a hoof disease that caused him excruciating pain. He also had a disorder on his left hind leg, which made it painful for him to use that leg. He often lifted and kept it, which added extra weight to his.
Where did you get this article, Spencer? Did you get this?
Palo Alto Online.
Is this like
Okay,
the
it sounds-
Is this
it
the
kinda-
autopsy report?
I know. I'm like, this kind of reads like it's from Donkey Daily magazine or something. Like
Don't
that.
read Donkey Daily.
Yeah.
Perry's
Don't
death
Google
was
that one.
peaceful. He was kept in constant company, and more than a dozen handlers were there with him when he passed. After he was euthanized, he remained in the pasture for several hours, so April and Buddy could understand their companion had passed.
You know, the thing is I kind of laugh about them leaving the donkey in the pasture, but I've actually seen that happen. When I was driving down to Vegas one year, I stopped in Scipio at the Scipio Zoo, which I don't think is there anymore.
They have a zoo?
It's a petting zoo. They have some zonkies, which are zebra donkey
that's
hybrids. They have a camel named Wednesday, hump day. And then they have a whole bunch of like turkeys and geese and ducks. And there was a dead duck that was in the middle of this field. And the handler was telling us when we stopped by, to see all the zonkies and everything, that they leave the dead duck there so that the other birds can have a funeral and say goodbye to their friend, which sounds really cool, but then kind of weird at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's exactly what they did for April and Buddy. because they continue on to say, through the night they were moving up, nosing in, understanding that he was gone.
Nosing?
They grieved. The handler described Perry as a feisty and funny, fond of Jenny, and prone to playfully nipping the occasional visitor in the butt. As recently as Thursday morning, he was playing with a stick, picking it up and shaking it around. His playful personality
Hey, Kenny,
and decades of entertaining
Kenny,
visitors
can
has
I
made him an
hire
endearing
you
local personality.
for my funeral?
I'm holding out for a.
You know what this sounds
Can
like?
you do How Great Thou Art?
This-
I want that for my funeral.
Is this so annoying? Is the nose flute so annoying?
Yeah, I might edit it out. Who knows?
Maybe.
That's rude.
This,
Just turn it down.
I'm going to be honest. This article goes on so long that it makes it sound like Perry was the inspiration not just for Donkey from Shrek, but also Little Sebastian from Parks and Rec.
Yeah, we totally stopped listening.
Like they started talking about his bad ankles, and and I just kept playing the nose flute. By the way, yeah, we got Holding Out for a Hero, Hallelujah, Accidentally in Love, and of course Smash Mouth's Believer.
I mean, it's incredible. They donated. The
Very
city
beautiful.
donated $10,000 to funeral expenses.
Wow.
For a donkey?
How long do donkeys
For a
live? Did they
donkey.
say? Did you mention that in the story?
I don't know. My family raises cows and apparently cats. I don't know about donkeys.
Speaking of cats, though, I mean, we could jump into what we did over the Christmas break, New Year's, and everything, but I think
Yeah, a little bit of catching up.
what's more pressing is
Aw.
we got some
Perry
cat
died
news.
early. 27 to 40 years. The average age
I
is
want to talk about
33.
cats. Can we talk about cats now? I'm done with donkeys, man.
We're a donkey podcast now, okay, Josh?
No.
We should adopt donkeys.
We're the Doncast.
Doncast. I love that.
But at the same time, I'm pretty sure you don't want to Google that.
Podkeys.
Doncast.
Podkeys.
That's going to bring up some,
I just got us the
Weird
E for
results.
Doncast.
yeah,
The G is silent.
very silent.
Don't see G. There's no G. It's donk.
It's because this is an E-rated show, not G.
Don't say Doncast. Oh wow, are we going to talk about something really sweet now? Because I feel like we can't.
Speaking of that, donkeys are known for the size of their
Okay, stop,
hoofs.
stop. Cats. We're going to talk about cats here.
Please.
You got a new cat, Kenny.
I did. And
Yes.
It
Is this
was,
Fridge?
Oh, Josh.
Did you change the name? Did you
No,
have a farm
Josh.
accident?
No,
It's too soon, Josh. All I'm going to say is I'm disloyal. Anyone who
No,
knows me know
no.
that's what.
you are not
You
disloyal.
left the cat at a ghost hunt, didn't you?
Listen.
Honestly, though, the weather was very similar to that night, and the last
Yeah.
time we had weather and we're in the middle of nowhere like that, somebody did get abandoned.
Did you have to chase the cat out of a haunted house?
A shed.
A shed. Josh, I didn't get Fridge.
Oh no.
I know.
No, it's not a bad thing.
It's a sad thing.
Okay, but why
mean,
didn't you
kinda
get
is that.
Fridge though?
Why don't you tell the story of how we got there?
Okay. Well, so it's funny. Whenever you say that you're going to Preston, I'll just say I go, oh, Preston, half an hour north of Logan, right? Really regional. But if you know the kind of minor directions, I'm like, yeah, it's not that hard to get there. Spencer, you were not lying when you said, hey, you're going to need to meet me because I need to lead you to where this farm is. And I was like, whatever, GPS, it's fine. You were not lying. This place was, in a way, it's kind of like romantic and charming, but it's in the middle of nowhere.
Mhm.
And Josh,
I've
you've been
said
there,
that on
right?
the show many
Yeah.
times.
Yeah,
I've
been
never
there.
believed you. I've always been like, oh, Preston, and then you just drive down a dirt road, a small dirt road, and you get to the farmhouse. No, it literally is like, I got there and I'm like, I need to FaceTime my daughters when we look at the cats. And you're like, oh, not possible. There's no internet here. And I was like, what? I'm so spoiled.
Wait, so basically, a city slicker comes into a country town trying to
Totally.
adopt a cat. Dude, you just started a Hallmark movie right there. Did you follow through? Did you find the love of your life?
No, he was a Netflix movie because he abandoned the cat, went back to the city cat.
That is a Netflix movie. I was going for Tubi, but I'll stick with Netflix. Yeah, so we went up, and thankfully it was on a day where Spencer and his family were going up anyways. And so we met them up near Preston, which Idaho, I don't think it's cities or towns, it's just regions, right?
No, there's a city. So north of Preston, what you do is once you get to the end of Preston, you hang a left, which is west, head towards the river bottoms and to Winder. So we met up in Winder.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we took some dirt roads, which were, I asked if you had 4-wheel drive, right?
You did, and I went, oh, all-wheel drive. It was crazy. I mean, the weather has not been too bad, but they were very slushy roads, and my vehicle was like, I don't know if I can do this. We made it just fine, but I was like, oh, this is really out here. And then, sadly, I think that the worst part about the whole night is, it gets dark at about 5. We got there at about 5:30, and so Josh, it was pretty dark when we got there, so we get there and the cats are not going to trust weirdos who are coming by being like, here, kitty, let me hold you. It's dark and your whole family's here. We didn't really create the best setting for the meet and greet.
Start grabbing cats or something like that? What happened?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We will forever know that Fridge's mouth was this wide.
Oh, yeah. Can we see it? I don't see it in the camera.
Actually, they've healed up really well, but you can kind of see still the pock marks around my hand.
You got rabies, man. You got the rabies.
No. I did get kitten powers. I have the proportional strength of a kitten.
The thing I also, yeah, you do. You're a cat man.
Hey, I think we all are.
Yeah. I know. I love that I'm now a multiple cat dad. So the thing I feel bad about, other than not getting Fridge, was so Stephanie's parents were a little under the weather. And Stephanie's mom, just this hero, was out there.
A lot under the weather.
A lot under the weather. And she, was out there. And it's pretty cold. And she's like, I'll wrangle him. And she's very good at this. Right? She's like...
Oh, she is Catwoman.
Yeah. She must have been bit a few times before because she had the skills to get him close.
I now have this visual of your mother-in-law in a Catwoman suit. And
no!
I
just wanted to share that so that you have that in your mind as well, Spencer.
Well, and on Wednesday, Stephanie's going to have that in her mind as well. She's in the background looking confused.
Consider it an early birthday present.
And so it just kind of wasn't working out because so she got a large bowl of milk and she grabbed 2 kittens and the cats were like, whatever, you've got us. But I think as soon as she handed them off to these strangers who were like, gimme, they weren't pleased.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer, you got it all on your hand, right? And Fridge was not to be seen the rest of the night. He took off. He got real scared. And and then it was that point, should we wait? Should we come back? It was just and eventually we left sans Fridge.
Oh,
it was honestly for the best because you ended up with an adorable kitten.
I mean, he's pretty cute. It's one of these things where, and I KSL, shame on KSL, right? Because we were looking at KSL the night before and my girls were like, yeah, they were in love with Fridge, but then it was oh, look at all these ragdolls. I'm like, yeah, they're $2,000. Don't even look twice at those cats.
Who would pay more than $10 for a cat?
So then all of a sudden my mom was like, oh, if you get a ragdoll, I'll pay half. And I was like, what?
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, oh, well, the thing that I really wanted to make sure is I just wanted a nice cat because Misty is such a brat and she's not nice to my girls. I'm like, I just need a cat that's kind. And I know I'm never paying that kind of money for ragdoll, but we found one that was, oh, there's my cat right now, half Persian, half ragdoll. And it was, guys, I feel sick saying this, $600 for a freaking cat. I know, Spencer.
No, because I've got a free cat. We have Dot, right?
Yeah.
And I've always said I would never spend money on a cat because we got my barn cats outside for free. We got Ethel for free. And we got Dot for free because they, basically all 4 of them are rescues. Mm-hmm. And we actually ended up, and I feel sick saying this because we actually spent money on a cat this last weekend.
Oh.
Right after Christmas, Dot was acting, oh my goodness, it's a freaking kitten.
This is the other show and tell. This is my rascally. This is Finn.
Is it boy or girl?
It's a boy.
And what's his
name? You said Finn?
It's Finn. I wanted his name to be Typo because he has kind of a messed up face.
No, he doesn't.
Look at that. He's got like a half saber tooth and a mustache all in one.
Oh,
I love it.
Anyways, sorry, Spencer, you were saying.
Oh, so Dot likes to chase Ethel around the house. She's a brat. She's the cuddliest, sweetest, kindest cat, but she's a teenage cat, so she antagonizes Ethel. So finally, Ethel got the better of her and got her a little in the armpit,
Oof.
which got infected and became an abscess.
Oh no.
So we had to drive Dot all the way
what
up
the heck?
because we're cheap. No, we drove her up to the farm.
Oh no.
There were no farm accidents, okay?
Okay. We are still sans E here. Thank goodness.
Oh, sure, Doncast.
My mother-in-law works for a vet and got us a deal. So we spent a couple, it was $108
Okay. More than you want to
get this
spend,
abscess
obviously.
drain. I swear, any more money than that, and there would have been a small farm accident.
Sure.
I'm just sitting here
Yeah,
squirming.
Josh,
in my
wait.
I
Just
mean,
wait.
I don't understand how anyone could spend that much money. But yeah, we bundled up Dot in a box, and she just rode on Stephanie's lap the whole way up to
Wow.
Preston. This one was in Preston.
That's a
Not
patient cat, though.
And then she stayed in our laps basically the whole weekend we were up there, because we were up there for 3 days. Just recovering, soaking it in.
Spencer, your mother-in-law was great. She's like, I'm just letting you know that I don't have 30 cats. Spencer says all the time on the show that I have more than 30 cats running around. And I was like, oh, I know. We kind of embellish. And she goes, I do have 17. And I was like, bless your heart.
Here's the thing, it's 17 that she knows of.
She's going to hear this.
I know.
Because those cats
She
have
knows I love her.
babies.
Yeah, she's actually tried her darndest to get him spayed and neutered, but I tell you, she's just outnumbered. Those cats are going to take
Yeah,
over.
at that point.
Yeah,
I mean, I think you're outnumbered after what? Just even 2.
right?
But
Anyway,
Yeah.
so sad to say, Fridge is not in my life, but Finn, he's real cutie, and he's a floppy cat. Rascally and floppy.
oh,
You know.
that's fun. How old is he?
He is 12 weeks old now.
Oh.
And you're keeping them separated, right?
No, I did for 3-4 days at first, and then my older cat just started getting like really grumpy, and she was waiting outside the door, and so I kind of opened it. But now they're not friends. I don't think they'll ever be friends. But she sniffs him, and then he swipes at her face, trying to play, and she just doesn't care for that. But they're not mad at each other. They eat each other's food. It's actually all right.
I mean, that's how they started with Ethel and Dot. And then-
Okay. I hope at
Teen
some
years.
point. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, they don't get along.
Oh, great. I was like, yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good. Josh, I know you've been sitting here chomping at the bit to share.
Yeah. So, okay. So, Spencer, how much did you spend on your cat for the
108, and a dime more, we would have had a small accident.
And I spent $600 on mine for a Christmas
Well,
Eve cat.
Let me tell you, my free cat off of KSL has cost me $5,000.
What?
I'm dead serious.
In mutual bonds, did you invest the
No,
money for the
like-
cat?
So, backstory here. So this is Walt,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Walt's the troublemaker, by the way.
He is the troublemaker, and I feel so bad because we've actually trusted the cats a lot more over the past 3 weeks. We stopped locking them in the basement,
Mm-hmm.
which sounds so much worse when you say it out loud.
Sure. Yeah.
But we've trusted them in the middle
Puts
of the
the
night.
lotion on the skin.
And we've trusted them in the middle of the night and everything. They've done great, right? And so we've just let them have run of the house, and it usually has ended up with Walt like laying on one of our faces at 4:00 in the morning, which I can deal with.
Yeah.
But anyway, this past week we noticed that Walt was kind of getting a little lethargic because he's the most energetic one, and by Thursday he just wasn't really moving around. We're like, okay, something is going on. So we made some phone calls around to vets. And can I just say, like, being a first-time cat owner, like, that's kind of a daunting thing because they're like, okay, and what kind of cat is it? I'm like, gray.
You're like, domestic short hair?
Well, they're like, is that a domestic short hair? I'm like,
Probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I had no idea. Like, I'm like, I got him off of KSL for free, whatever.
Yeah.
But eventually, I ended up contacting Andrea Adair, And thank you, because she works for a vet. She's front staff for BCA here in the Salt Lake Valley.
Okay.
Or for the Taylorsville location. And she got us an appointment for him, and we didn't really figure out what was going on. We thought it was a cold or something. We gave him some meds and everything, and he just didn't get better. So the next day he just kept getting worse, and I had to, feed him with a little syringe and
Oh man.
and everything. It was so hard because he just didn't want to eat. He didn't want to move, and fell off the couch a couple times. I'm like, okay, like eventually
Josh,
Saturday night.
You have to know. Stop real quick.
Mhm.
T. When he fell off the couch, did he do the Mufasa pose?
No, he did
Brother, no.
he did the dead fish flop pose. Like that's how sad it was.
But you had the perfect opportunity. You've got Walt and his brother Roy.
True.
Like you could have recreated it.
I love where your priorities are here. And you obviously are the child of somebody who has small farm accidents. So anyway, Saturday night at midnight, we took him in to the emergency care, and it was about a 4 or 5 hour wait. So like I brought a whole bunch of stuff, thinking I'm going to be there forever. And they're like, well, we're actually going to bump you up because Walt is pretty sick. And what happened is he had a blockage in the urethra, so he couldn't pee.
He's got a narrow
And
one.
he had he had built up crystals and kidney stones or whatever.
What?
Yeah. Or as I like to call them, kiddy stones.
Oh my gosh. If only he thought that was as cute as you do.
The vet did. Well, we're actually going to change that medical term to kiddy stones now. Thank you.
Trademarked.
And there's my contribution to medicine right there. But anyway, she basically had to put a catheter in and everything.
What?
And they've kept him there the past couple of nights. We're hopeful that he should be coming home tomorrow.
Okay.
Because he has improved. He still has, some blood and that in the urine and everything.
I'm
but
just impressed with the commitment to the puns here because he got kidney stones and he has a catheter.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we are a cat podcast, so
No, we're a Doncast now.
no, we're not.
No, you're not.
No, but this episode is definitely an E. But no, I felt so bad, and it's hard because
Yeah.
with cats and with these little animals, like they can't communicate what's going on, and you have to take every cue. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm trying to read their body language and everything, and then when the vet comes with all the these are our options, $5,000, and just like, oh. So
Okay.
Marianne and I like, okay, we're gonna be eating ramen, for a few months or whatever. I mean, we can afford it. I mean, we knew that risk going in, but
Can I ask? I know it's like unsavory, but like, what? I think everyone does this before they have a pet that feels like their kid a little bit. You kind of go in your mind, what's my limit, right? Is it the $180 in 1 cent? Like, is it $2,000? Is it $5,000 in 1 cent? It's hard because I mean, I'm coming at this like I'm thinking of like dog owners, right? Dog owners would spend literally anything to save their dog, and people kind of go, "Oh, cats, meh, like whatever." But it did even cross your mind to go like, is this
like
something we want to do?
like he needs a nap?
Yeah.
No. And I think part of it, what did cross our mind though, is he's only 2.5 years old. So he's still very young. And like, if he was an older cat, like, okay, like let's just put him down, but we've got to give him a fighting chance here. And he's rebounded fairly well. So that's good. But
So what are the chances of this happening again though?
that's kind of the funny thing here, because she actually did talk about that. The vet said that this is a problem that happens mainly in male cats. So they'll form crystals or kidney stones, and they'll get the blockages. So if he could get a reoccurring blockage, and that's possible, we are going to change his diet and everything. So hopefully that will eliminate that. But if it happens again and again, they actually can do a surgery where they essentially change him into a her, and they shorten the urethra and they make him essentially a female cat. And I'm sitting here when the doctor's telling me this, I'm like, maybe we should just let Walt decide on that. I will love him either way, whatever he chooses.
It's nothing more than a roll of nickels and 2 quarters.
Right.
And he's already lost the quarters.
And then Marianne and I had that conversation. We're like, well, I guess, if that happens, then we'll have to change his name to Lily, because that's the name of Walt's wife. And we'll just accept him for who he is.
So it'd be Lily and Roy?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you change it to Roy's wife name?
No, that'd be weird.
It'd be weirder than this conversation that we're having right now.
That's like Disney swinging right there.
Can I say, no, this is the most millennial podcast. I'm glad we started with the phrase of millennial moment of silence, because we talked about Shrek, and then we spent the rest of the time talking about cats, and now we're talking about cats. So I think maybe we need to listen to some calls.
All right, well, Josh, real quick, our hearts go out to you, and keep us all posted, obviously.
Thank you. Yeah, we will, and he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And again, thank you so much to Andrea. I can't thank her enough. So she's been very helpful.
Hi, honey. It's me. And by honey, I mean Josh. Anyhow, I just got back from the dentist because I have to have a tooth extracted because it was fractured, which also happened this summer. And Josh, I've been disappointed because the tooth fairy didn't come in the summer. So is the tooth fairy going to come tonight? I hope so.
What kind of role play is this?
First of all, hey, babe. I go by many names. Gosh. But sometimes Tooth Fairy is one I gave up a long time ago.
Well, if the Tooth Fairy comes, he's going to be paying a copay to the vet.
Yeah, listen, I do think the Tooth Fairy should visit your babe. And I think that obviously this may be a few days late, but Josh, I think it's time to assist the Tooth Fairy, if you will. Kind of be a mall Santa for the Tooth Fairy.
Real quick, though. Kent, you work at a bank.
Yeah.
What is the inflation for the Tooth Fairy for adults?
Oh, well, it just depends. I used to get 50 cents from the Tooth Fairy. My daughters used to get $15 LOL dolls.
What?
And so, I know.
Oh, yeah. Dolls?
They'd want the Tooth Fairy to bring them dolls that were, I don't know, whatever the Tooth Fairy brought, but $15 each. And they would write letters saying, since my little sister lost a tooth and I'm taking care of her, could I also get a doll as well? And the Tooth Fairy's a real sucker. The Tooth Fairy would bring both dolls for both girls.
I feel like the adult version or the adult Tooth Fairy is essentially those Elf on the Shelves, and they pull the teeth of the adults because that's what it's like.
I'm going to apologize to my children in advance when you listen back. Stephanie, I hope you're on board with this. But our Tooth Fairy is essentially one of the trolls from Harry Potter because they're getting a nickel.
Oh, come on.
Listen. You can't buy anything with that.
No, we're going to adjust for him. Yeah, you can. You can still go to Smith & Eddie's and pick up some 5-cent penny candy.
5 cent. See what you just said? 5-cent penny candy.
That's inflation.
Mm-hmm. You know, you can pick up 5. That's a deal.
Josh, you did just tell that story of the $5,000 bill that you have to pay. Because otherwise, I'd say a gift card would be great from the Tooth Fairy. But,
Yeah. No, the Tooth Fairy is helping pay for Walt's care.
Actually, knowing yours and Marianne's relationship, I fully expect you to insert your hand under the pillow and tell her that the Tooth Fairy came. And as she lifts up the pillow, There's your hand.
Oh my gosh.
You got to do that with the lucky finger, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is.
By the way,
I'm imitating
it's Spencer
your
flipping
your
off.
hand, Josh.
Yeah, just so everyone knows.
Yeah, that.
I've seen the reels, Marianne. Since
Like I say, I'm like, that would be called flirting in our relationship.
Hey guys, Proud Disney Mom here. Happy New Year. I wanted to share that Proud Disney Daughter is finishing her program tomorrow, January 2nd, and yesterday was her last day of working, and since she was a fairy godmother in training at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, they did a graduation ceremony, so she is now a full fairy godmother, and she got her name. They give, every time they do a graduation ceremony, they get a name, and so she is now Forever Fairy Godmother Kelly. So I guess I have to change my name now from Proud Disney Mom to Proud Disney Forever Fairy Godmother Mom. I don't know. Help me out here. Thanks, guys.
Godmama.
apparently Walt and Roy can help with that.
Yeah.
I think it can't be fairy godmother mom. It's got to be a godmama.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Fairy
or
godmother.
What about
Fairy
what about
godmama?
fairy god grandmother?
fairy
Fairy
grandmother.
grandma?
Let's brainstorm this.
Yeah.
But regardless-
any listeners, we want some input on this as well.
Wait, so was there?
Wait,
what I want to know,
fairy-
was there a graduation ceremony? And do you get like a wand when you graduate? Do you get a piece of paper with a name? You know, like,
This sounds like the coolest summer camp ever.
And
right?
do you deal with the tooth industry? Because my wife needs a tooth fairy.
This is
and
full
can
circle
you
right
make
here.
$5,000 just appear
Yeah,
for
but
the wishes of a cat?
Yeah, but it turns into Spencer's nickel at midnight. So hurry and
Yes.
pay the vet before it turns into a nickel.
I wish I had those magic nickels. I'd go on a shopping spree.
Yeah, we'll have to get a good name here.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool though. Like the Bippity Boppity Boutique. Spencer, did you take Hazel to go do this at all?
She is 3,
Okay.
and you heard what kind of fairy godmother tooth fairy we have. Again, the troll from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So her fairy godmother is
Shops exclusively at
Amazon?
Target. Oh, Amazon.
See,
Amazon.
I mean, same, but when I took my girls, they were 6 and 2. This was right after the separation. I was like, let's do whatever you want. And so they both got Bippity Boppity Boutique to really splurge there and be like, hey, things aren't so bad, right? Right?
I'll be completely honest. If Hazel was legit a year older and I was 15 minutes faster,
Mhm.
she totally would have gone to Bippity Boppity Boutique on the cruise.
Oh, they
It
had
just
on
sold
cruise.
out sold out so fast I didn't have a chance. I tried.
Dang it.
I tried it, but $280.
That's more than you'd spend on a cat.
That's
Well, you.
right. And trust me, Hazel's not having a small farm.
Hey, how
accident.
much is a Disney cruise? Around $5,000? Because yeah, I'd be up for that.
Nope, 3.
Josh, you have so much trauma now about the number $5,000.
I know. I looked at Walt the other day when we dropped him off, and I said, "You better start pooping diamonds to make up for this."
No,
Maybe,
that would be a blockage of his.
maybe-
Yeah.
Josh, Kent, maybe if you two don't mind sharing a bed with me in a non-sexual way.
I mean,
Is this the Dom
Dang it.
cast?
DON cast. Donk. Like donkey.
please. don't
Gosh,
say-
Josh, get your mind out of the gutter.
Please don't bring up the
Okay, if I'm gonna
Doncast when we're
spoon with
sharing
you-
a bed.
If I'm going to spoon with you, I don't want you thinking about those things. Okay?
Can that name just be retired?
Yeah, I'm not even going to entertain the thought of making a
A
t-shirt.
t-shirt?
for that. Yeah.
Okay, Spencer, you were
Anyway,
saying.
instead of like leasing cars or buying guitars or paying back mortgage,
Sure,
back taxes, things
sure,
like
yeah,
that,
all those things.
maybe we can save up and go on a Disney cruise, the 3 of us.
Yeah.
We'd have to share a room.
Okay, like literally
And a
the 3
bed.
of us.
Yeah. Stephanie
room or
definitely
a
won't
bed?
get jealous. Well, so
I call top
the
bunk.
cheapest rooms. No, we can't.
No.
Oh my goodness, we can't fit 3 people because they do have
No,
a pull-out
listen.
couch and a bunk.
I need to be spooned, and I think with the 2 of you, I've always wanted to be spooned my entire life. but anyone I've dated, they've always been smaller than me. Guys, I think Josh, you're a little bit bigger than me. I want to be the front of the human centipede.
No, you can be the middle.
No, nobody wants to be middle of the human centipede.
This is worse than the Doncast, man.
SS Doncast.
Magic happens on Disney cruises, okay? And we can all do Bibbidi Boppity Boutique for us.
Okay, count me in. I want to be Rapunzel.
Oh gosh,
Rapunzel has the prettiest dress.
Episode.
Can I be Tiana?
Oh, nope, you can't actually.
Nope.
You're actually just gonna get canceled for mentioning
There's rules for that.
it. You can be Snow White. You be the cutest Snow White, Spencer. You actually would.
I can just imagine like a little blue bird perching upon your lucky finger.
Josh, you're Ariel. For sure you're Ariel.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
so
I've
I'm
got the
Rapunzel,
cleavage
Spencer,
for
you're
that.
Snow White, and Josh, you're Ariel. I love this so much.
Done.
There's a t-shirt.
But
Done.
Josh, instead of seashell bras, you wear the sports bra that you wear for jogging.
Yes.
So
That's stuffed with
It's actually seaweed.
starfish.
It's a sea cucumber.
we're not even done with this show yet, and this is where we're at.
Oh
This is a
my
mess.
Gosh.
Okay, hey, real quick.
Oh, boy.
I do want to talk. I mean, it's just like the boring part, but I do want to talk about. And we could talk about movies coming out this year, but I picked up the months for January itself, and January, as we know, is like the graveyard for movies. Always, like sometimes these studios, they kind of just like wait and they go, oh, Christmas is over. We know people won't go to the movies, so let's just shuffle these movies there. But there's some interesting ones. I still don't think people are going to go to the theater for them, though.
Well,
Okay.
and I'd like to know because as we talked about in the last episode, I did get the Mega Pass for
Oh, you did?
Marianne and I.
Oh, cool.
So
Wait, is that AMC or is that a Megaplex thing?
it's the Megaplex.
Okay.
Megaplex.
So I kind of need I need some recommendations.
What's the deal with that? Is it 2 movies a month? Is it 1 movie a week?
Two movies a month.
Okay.
Yeah, including
that's
some
good.
discounts for popcorn.
Honestly, I'm just going to kind of talk to you and say which movies are worth your one visit every other week. Because I
Okay,
feel like
that works.
that's pretty good to go once every other week. Okay, so let's start with the 10th of January because like we're creeping right up to that. I'm not going to recommend Den of Thieves: Pantera because I don't know if you ever saw Den of Thieves from like 5-6 years ago. This has Gerard Butler
No.
and Ice Cube's son and 50 Cent. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
criminals in a heist movie.
Okay.
And it's honestly, the first one's a total dad movie. It's actually kind of enjoyable for what it is. It's a Walmart $5 movie. And I liked it. And I will watch the next one when it comes to Hulu in a couple months anyways.
Is it like Think Like a Man?
No, it is
Okay.
not. No, definitely not.
Those are the movies that Marianne kind of likes. Just
Okay, so
FYI.
You're going to skip
We
Den of
watch-
Thieves.
We actually watch BET a lot in this house.
You do?
Oh yeah, and their
Okay.
Christmas shows are amazing.
I changed my mind. You're Tiana. Anyway, so that same day, January 10th, is one of my favorite movies of 2024. And it was released in the UK already. This is almost a movie made for UK audiences, but it's now being released here wide. Yes.
I know which one you're talking about. You're talking about the Robbie Williams one, right?
Yes. Tell me about it, Josh. Break
So-
this movie down.
Okay, so basically, from what I have seen, I can't remember the name of it. It's
Better Man.
Better Man. Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. I knew it was one of the titles of his show, but essentially, or songs. But essentially, what it is Robbie Williams in this movie is a monkey, is a chimpanzee,
Yeah.
and it's a biography.
Yes.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
And then
A fictionalized biography.
So,
yeah.
think of like right now, the Bob Dylan one with Timothy Camembert is out, and you've seen these movies 100 times. Walk the Line, like to the point of parody, right? We've seen
Walk
the
Hard, the
Queen
Dewey
one, Bohemian
Cox
Rhapsody.
story.
Walk Hard did it so well, right? And it's like as they go, these songs come up as part of their life, and they're supposed to be fun and lively. There's something so weird about Better Man because I think in the States, other than like 2000, 2001, we didn't have any exposure to Robbie Williams. Like some people knew the boy band Take That. He had a couple hits 20 years ago, and then he kind of disappeared and kind of became a tabloid personality. over there, but he's a superstar there. We just don't know him here. So why they're making a biopic about Robbie Williams, I'm not sure. Why it's a musical with, his songs, that's fine. But why he's an ape, there's no reason for it. He literally looks like Caesar from the recent Planet of the Apes movies.
That's what I thought at first. I'm like, what?
So wait, was this really the one you're most looking forward to?
Guys, I love this movie. I love it.
Really?
Yeah. I love, B+ love it. It is so fun to watch. And I'm not even the biggest Robbie Williams fan, but I think I am after this. I'm like, yeah, this would have been a typical story of this kid gets famous really quick, young in life, and then he falls on, hard times, and he gets into drugs and goes through bad relationships and has a bad relationship with his dad. And I'm like, yeah, this is a pretty typical famous person story, but he's a monkey. Why? And the things they do with that, like he battles former versions of himself, and it's like the best battle I've seen this side of Planet of the Apes. It's
I'm gonna stop you right here because I'm noticing something.
Yeah.
We have a trend now.
Okay.
We have 2 movies about musicians where they're portrayed by something they're not. We have Pieces, the Pharrell Williams story, where he's Legos, and now we have Better Man, Robbie Williams, who's actually an ape.
Yeah.
So what's next?
It's so another Williams. Any other Williams?
Is it the Britney Spears story with Barbies?
Hers would kind of be probably like a lemur or something, like something with like
Lemia.
buggy eyes, or I don't know. Poor Britney.
She's from the South.
Yeah, we are getting Michael
Probably
Jackson's
like a possum.
biopic later this year, and I'm actually pretty stoked for it. Anyways, Better Man is very good. It's weird, but here's why it's good. It's being written and directed by the guy who did Greatest Showman. And that guy, even though Greatest Showman is kind of like a really popcorn sort of musical, he's really good at setting up songs and production design. And that's what this movie does really, really well. So I've talked enough about it. Total recommendation. However, it's rated R. And the language is...
Monkey sex?
No. Oh, thank goodness, no. That would not feel right. But there's plenty of F words in the movie.
Oh, okay.
My big question though is are there any donkeys in it?
Nope.
Thank goodness, no.
Nope. Strictly chimpanzees.
Yeah. So let's move to the 17th. We have the Wolfman, and this is Lee Winnell's new movie. He did The Invisible Man a couple of years ago, and he also co-wrote Saw. I like The Invisible Man, but The Wolfman does not really look good based on the trailer. And
Is
obviously,
it like a horror movie or what?
It's like a remake of The Wolfman. Okay. The Wolfman.
Okay. That's what I thought.
It just looks like the budget's not there. I'm hoping I'm surprised though, because The Invisible Man was quite good.
It looks like a dad gets bitten while locked in a house with his kids.
Yeah, we'll see. But that said, I'm into horror movies whenever. But that same day, we have another like Oscar baity type movie. It's called September 5. And this one is about the Munich Olympics. And it's really interesting. It's a dialogue-rich movie. And it's all about the sports producers who are displaying the games. They're cutting to commenters and stuff like that. And they're talking about the Olympics. Then all of a sudden, this terrorist act happens at the Munich Games. And then they're like, instead of the news crew, the sports production crew are the ones kind of showing everything and trying to tell the story. And it's just all about these guys in a production booth. And you're like, well, I know the story, but this is crazy. It's really well written. It's a one-time watch because it is kind of a like soul damaging story. But that said, it's like, oh, cool. I mean, I could watch this, maybe not a theater watch, but like watch it intently without a phone at home. So, so far, Josh Better Man is your choice. On the 24th, we have Flight Risk. This is the weirdest looking movie because it's directed by Mel Gibson, and it's Mark Wahlberg is a pilot who, the twist in the movie I think is that he's bald. I don't really know. But he's a pilot and he's transporting, it's kind of like plane. I think he's transporting a criminal or someone that has like information. And it's just like I don't want to spoil anything, but it's just a twisted trailer of, alliances and all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, Mel Gibson directing like a schlocky, 90s type thriller. Okay.
Is Nicolas Cage in it?
I mean, I think Mark Wahlberg might be the new Nicolas Cage, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
He's got the voice inflection. So.
And then Spencer, I know there's another movie you want to see, but first there's one that you probably should see with me on the 31st. It's called Companion. And this is a new horror film, kind of about like this like secret society. And it's kind of a Stepford Wives sort of look. It's very mysterious, but it has Jack Quaid from The Boys in it. very excited to see it.
He actually perked up
Very
more.
excited for Jack Quaid.
He perked up more when you said Stepford Wives and not horror movie.
Yeah,
So,
I love
interesting.
Stepford Wives.
Actually, it wasn't that. It was Jack Quaid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spencer,
I was
I
wrong.
think there's a movie you wanted to see, though, specifically, right?
There is. I will go see Companion with you.
Oh no, is this
Um,
the one I think it is?
I think so.
On January 29th, Green and Gold is coming to select theaters as a Fathom event.
You sent us this trailer.
It has Craig T. Nilsson and the guy from 1993 in it, or 1923, like the handsome devilish dude.
He's very
Like,
handsome.
Yes, he is. I'm gonna go for him. But I'm going because this is a timeless American story about a man who is about to lose his farm to corporate greed, while his daughter is chasing her dreams of being a Nashville music star. And she comes back to save the farm and falls in love with the handsome young man that's going to produce her song. But she's got to save the farm. And in order to do that, the Packers have to go to the Super Bowl. It is a Hallmark movie about the Packers.
You know what? The best Packer movie out there is still Bingo.
Mm-mm.
Yep. It always will be.
No.
It will
You know
always
what,
be
Spencer?
Bingo.
No,
That one won't be screened. However, in the world where it is, in a different timeline, you and I are going.
I know you got me booed.
This really is like a Hallmark
It's-
movie for football fans.
It really is. It's a Hallmark movie for dads, and I'm all in. The old crotchety Craig T. Nelson losing his farm and betting it on the Packers going to the Super
I think
Bowl.
we should come up with like alternate movies, like Bo Knows My Heart. You know,
Well, so here's the thing: is this is set in 1996 when the Packers did go to the Super Bowl under Brett Favre.
okay, you just spoiled the movie. Thanks very much.
Oh, any pack.
Yeah.
The only people who are going to see this are Packers fans,
know.
and we know
Yeah, it's so
they
true.
go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and the
Okay.
Packers have how many citizens in Green Bay?
All of them. Based on the movies you're telling me, though, it's not shocking or surprising to me that there is a. I just need to throw this out. The Cinemark is doing a promotion. January 19th, bring your own bucket day,
Mm.
up to 400 ounces, and they will fill it up for $5.
Okay, not too shabby.
Popcorn collectors just lost their collective crap.
You know, truly, go see Better Man or Sonic 3 or Nosferatu. Those would be my choices.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
Or Green and Gold.
I probably will watch a movie. We'll probably go to a movie that was released in December
Yeah.
because I
Marianne's voting for Green and Gold.
no, I think more more green face meaning Wicked. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Careful. There's the sing-alongs that are out now, and those would be the worst.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
You can watch it at home now.
Yeah, you can.
It is not surprising they released it on digital at the same time they started doing sing-along
Yeah.
versions.
To spare
are
people.
they doing the sing-alongs in the theater?
They are.
Yes.
Oh man, with my luck, that would be the one.
I know. Please don't. Don't do this to yourself. Anyways, with all that said, a little bit to look forward to, but for now, Josh, would you mind taking us out?
You've just listened to The Other Show, starring Kent Dunn, Josh Hansen, and Spencer Myers. The Other Show is produced by Kent Dunn, Josh Hansen, and Spencer Myers. Show design and audio editing is done by me, Josh Hansen, and sales manager is Spencer Myers. The Other Show is generously supported by our friends on Patreon. A huge thank you to our Friends with Benefits tier. These friends are contributing a minimum of $25 a month, which in return comes with some rather significant benefits, including the weekly off-the-cuff episodes of the Other Show, monthly bonus episodes, quarterly live Q&A shows, and exclusive swag and perks. A huge thank you to our favorite Brit, Jonathan Vaskar, the lovely and talented Mrs. Robinson, the one, the only Chris Anderson, Brandon from Popfly Cards, Lady Terry A. Finley, the proud Disney mom, Tanya Budge, the other Keith Brown, it's Rick, not Dick Smith, Dave, and of course, our newest friend with benefits, Melanie Milring. To support The Other Show on Patreon, visit patreon.com/The Other Show to join. Please rate, review, and subscribe to The Other Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, or wherever podcasts are found. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. To better connect with us and other fans of The Other Show, join our Facebook group, The Other Group. For past episodes, links to our other shows, and to shop for show swag, visit our website at theother.show. And remember, when you're not listening to me here on The Other Show, you can hear me on my other show, The Party in the Back.
You can hear me on my other show, Baconsale.
And you can find me with my big old bucket of popcorn at Green and Gold.